Welcome. We are live. Let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly. If you are live on Instagram, go ahead and toss me a heart or a thumbs up and tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments section. If you are live on Facebook, Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox on Facebook, go ahead and toss me a heart and let's see here. TikTok, you can do the same. Let's see, we have a moderator over there now. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Okay, let's make a quick adjustment here. So, wow, I want to talk to you guys. I just got off a client call, and he's actually a male client that lives in San Francisco. And those of you who don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is Andrea Cox. I'm an intuitive healer and holistic wellness coach. I have been vegan for almost 24 years. Not that that makes me better than anyone else or anything of that nature, but I juice, I do all the things, uropathy, urine therapy, juicing, vitamin D, like the whole 9 yards, colon hydrotherapy, coffee enemas. I do all this stuff. And what I wanted to say to all of you, sorry, I was on an hour-long client call, so I want to make sure my mascara hasn't leaked. What I wanted to share with all of you today is, first of all, Tina Turner, what an icon. And I'm going to get into the subject I'm going to talk about, so just hang with me. I'm actually going to talk about karmic relationships, twin flames, soulmates, and life partnerships. But before that, I want to talk about Tina Turner. What an incredible icon. Leaving an abusive man at 44 years old and leaving with 36 cents in her wallet. 36 cents. She ran out after being beat overnight to a Ramada Inn. I think it was in Los Angeles. She was 44 years old and she had 36 cents in her wallet. And for years, this man, Ike, I think his name was, he told everyone he made her a star, he lied, and everyone knew it was her stage presence that made her a star. He did nothing for her. He tried to make money off her back. He tried to make other women into what she was. For years, he did this, right? Typical ego-driven masculine in the reverse energy. And she rose above. And how beautiful of an icon has she been for all of us women who have went through similar scenarios. I can relate. And so paying tribute to her all weekend long, I'm going to be jamming out to Tina Turner here. An amazing icon, an amazing woman, beautiful smile, beautiful legs, a great mother. Oprah did a beautiful tribute to her on Instagram. And I just am humbled with gratitude that she was one of the icons that played throughout my home growing up. It was usually Stevie Nicks or Led Zeppelin, but she occasionally made her way in through our house in music. And so I hope that we all honor her and we remember her. She actually became Buddhist. And those of you who don't know, I have a house full of Buddhas. I grew up Christian, but I believe in the Buddhist religion because it's basically treat others how you want to be treated. That's it. And so what an amazing icon. And so let's just kind of take just a minute and just honor her essence, her presence, and her strength right now. If we could, we'll just kind of, take a minute and just honor her for the amazing human being she was. And what I want to talk to all of you about is something I did a short little video on a few months ago. And it was on the difference between a soulmate, a twin flame, a karmic partner, and a life partner. And so I got a lot of messages on that. You guys messaged me for days upon days upon days. And what I want to talk about tonight is how you can tell the difference. And when I talk about these things, you know, I've been in every position. I've been a karmic to someone. I've had soulmate relationships. I definitely know who my twin flame is. And that life partner has yet to come in. But I want to explain to you the difference. So let's start at the bottom of the barrel and we'll work our way up, shall we? And thumbs up if you are interested in this. You can hashtag twin flame, hashtag soulmate in the comments or anything of that nature. Let's make sure you can hear me. Okay. All right. So a karmic relationship, and those of you who are like, aren't you single? How can you talk about relationships? Well, I've actually been in a relationship for the majority of my life. I was in an 11-year relationship and then a 5-year relationship. And then the rest of the time, I pretty much stay single and celibate. I don't really put myself out there a lot because I believe I'm on a spiritual journey. So a karmic relationship will start off being very hot and heavy. Usually one person wants to rush it along. They want to rush it into getting engaged. They want to rush it into a marriage. They want to rush it into intimacy. And there's arguments from day one. It's very volatile. It always feels like you never quite know what you're going to get when the person comes home. Are they going to be in a good mood or a bad mood? Sorry, I'm going to make a couple adjustments here. Are they going to yell at you? Are they going to go off on you? Are they going to be kind to you? Usually the masculine energy, it can be the feminine as well. One person will lose a lot of money in that relationship because there's a strong codependency. And again, I've been in this type of relationship, so I can speak from that angle. So there's a lot of codependency in a karmic tie. There's also a lot of trauma bonding. Usually one person has a very unhealed childhood or they're hanging on to someone from their past, which brings in even more karma to the situation, right? So usually they'll be hyper focused on an ex-partner or someone from their past who could or could not be karmic, and they'll just keep that focus there while you feed and go completely dormant within the energy space that you're in, giving to a relationship that's not reciprocal, that's not giving back to you. So that is a karmic relationship. Again, the biggest sign of a karmic relationship is one of you loses a lot of money. It's codependent. There's a lot of fighting in there. Now, let's not confuse a karmic relationship with you being in a relationship with an asshole, right? Or a woman who is a Jezebel spirit. Now, that relationship, usually one of the two parties is lying the entire time. For example, they could be seeing an ex the entire time, lying to you about their whereabouts, etc. And you just feel like you're going crazy and going nuts. And really, you're just with someone that's unhealed, right? So there's a difference there. Let's talk about soulmates, a little more positive energy here. So a soulmate will come in when you're trying to heal from a relationship. A lot of times we have past life soulmates as well. So there'll be a lot of synchronicities there. I know I had a soulmate come in and he had the same name as my dad. He was born the year my dad passed, and he actually kind of had a jawline, like it was weird. But he was a soulmate. He was a soulmate that was put in my life to help me heal through a very dark time. And he did his work and healed me. And so that is a soulmate. That's a kindred spirit, someone that is put in your life to heal you. A soulmate can even be in the form of a child being born into your life. A soulmate can be in the form of a sibling or a cousin or someone that seems to have the right words just when you need to hear them. A friend, right? can also be a soulmate. Someone you watch online. Some of you, maybe I'm your past life soulmate. You watch what I say online. Thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up, you guys. You watch what I say, and maybe you hear it at the right time, and it helps you heal. That's a soulmate. Let's talk about a twin flame. This gets very confusing for many, okay? Everybody wants to claim their partner as their twin flame. So the 144,000, they say there's 144,000 of us that have a twin flame. That may or may not be true, right? A twin flame is cut from the same cloth as you. Oftentimes you guys can have an age gap, but look very similar, right? You may look like your twin flame. Your twin flame gets a lot of attention. You get a lot of attention. Your twin flames, blonde hair, has big, beautiful eyes. You might have blonde hair and have big, beautiful eyes. Your twin flame has an impeccable build. You may have an impeccable build. Twin flames are similar. They're very difficult relationships if you're unhealed. So I was talking to a new girlfriend on Facebook the other day, and a very sweet girl getting ready to move from Austin to San Diego. And I said, oh, I think by your pictures, your husband is your twin flame. She goes, oh no, those relationships are difficult. And I said, quite the contrary. When two people are healed, those relationships are easy. So I'm going to say that again. There is a really hard adage on Welcome Flawless Living, my new girlfriend. We're going to get together soon. When two people are healed, a twin flame relationship is easy. But two people have to be healed to come together to make that work. Usually they meet, they both level up big time, they split, and they come back together. They don't split for a week, a month, or a year. They split for years and come back together. That's a twin flame relationship. That's a soul tie relationship. Now, they don't split so one can go off and whore around, etc. They split so they can learn their lessons, their karmic lessons, their life lessons, all of the lessons that they're meant to learn in order to heal for their highest soul's growth and evolution. Let's talk about life partners. Can we all just get a life partner and call it a day? So a life partner is that person that you live out your days with. Usually you're over 40, over 45. Maverick could be my life partner for all I know. Are you and Lewis? Lewis has been a life partner. Lewis is 23 years old. My little white dog, he's under the table right now. You want to say hello? Okay. He does not want to say hello, nor does he want to get groomed. And he's already known in town. The local groomer won't groom him because he's already, done his Lewis thing. I don't know where he gets the spoiledness from. So Lewis, in a sense, is my life partner. He's been with me. We've lived in Ohio. We've lived in Mexico. We've lived in San Diego. We've lived in Vegas. We've lived in our present home. He's been with me through, we're in our third cycle together. He's a life partner. He's a soulmate. He could very well be my twin flame for all I know. Do we have more than one twin flame? I don't think so. I think we have one. That's another question I get a lot on the Detox Intuitive, my YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. Wellness channel, Andrea Cox TV, YouTube, the Detox Intuitive. So a life partner is that person that comes in, usually we're over 40, 45, 50, and it's easy. There may not be that strong sexual attraction and woo, and we're making love one day on the beach and fighting and ripping each other's throats out the neck. There may not be all of that, right? But there may be a peace you feel inside your heart when you're with this person, that they're good for you, that they're healthy for you, that there's a desire there to be with one another, and that you love each other. And yes, there'll be intimacy. If there's ever not intimacy in your relationship, if there's not something health-wise going on, there is a problem. You need to address that, because that too can be karmic, right? When we're just going through the motions of working and coming home and eating and going to bed and and that's it. And So, you want to, and intimacy comes in different ways. It comes from, I don't need to teach you guys that. But what I want you to remember is the life partners and the twin flames could not occur without the karmic situations, right? I've been in a relationship where I was very codependent on someone. We fought like cats and dogs. He couldn't tell the truth to save his life. And I was that nagging. I used to send text messages that were longer than I am tall. I was that woman. I'm gonna all no holds barred. We've all been that woman at some point in our life. That's usually a situation that, even if it's not karmic, it's holding a lot of karma. It's holding a lot of negative energy that needs cleared. Now, can people go through a karmic period of time, heal, and come back together? Absolutely. I have the ability to look at two people's astrological charts Vedically and tell if it's karmic or not. I look at the Rahu, I look at the Ketu, I look at the Saturn, I look at the moon, I look at all aspects of someone's chart. It's a gift. I've been doing it for years. It's something that as soon as someone works with me, whether it's in intuitive life coaching or for a reading or holistic wellness coaching, I first want to see their chart, their partner's chart. It's very, very easy for me to say you have a past life tie, or, oh, got a lot of karmic aspects here. Now, can other relationships be karmic, such as relationships with a sibling, relationships with a friend? Absolutely. 155,000%. So thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. So, for example, if you have a friend and it starts out great, you guys feel like you've known each other in a past life, and then all of a sudden the friend is so codependent on your energy that you can't even blow your nose without them calling you, and they're bugging the crap out of you, that has turned karmic. Usually what I do is just cut relationships off. May sound kind of gaslighting and cruel, and maybe it is to the other person at the time, but it's necessary for my own peace, right? So I am notorious having a moon in Scorpio and a rising in Scorpio, although my rising's in Libra in Vedic, of being done packing, moving, cutting ties. If I feel like something is karmic in a friendship, in a relationship, I feel the need to not only cleanse my personal energy, but also my energetic force field, my space, etc. I don't want any of the memories. I don't want anything. And it's not avoidance. It's actually healing myself to a point of not looking back. And that is very powerful. So I want to talk to you guys about how to, if you're going through something where you're trying to get away from someone who is karmic. Okay. Hi on TikTok. I forgot I was live there. Hi, how are you? Thank you for the follows. I think we're up to 23,000 followers there. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm too old to be on there, but you guys seem to love me. Thank you. Thanks. So if you're going through a breakup and there's a lot of karma attached, for example, my client that I just worked with, male, stellar dad, stellar, businessman, stellar in every area of his life. He's a Pisces. He has a lot of Aries in his chart. He has Mars in Aries, which is kind of a volatile placement, but he handles it well. What I was trying to do with him as I went inward and intuited his energy via a FaceTime call is I was trying to break away the encasing around his heart that was like a metal shell of armor, that nothing he was doing was good enough. He couldn't do anything that was good enough, right? And the truth is, he's probably the best person she'll ever have, right? He took care of her, he treated her great, he loyal, all of that. And so she's probably secretly suffering and not saying anything. That's the ego. But what I was able to do is kind of crack that shell. It's kind of like I took something and was like, boom, we're going to crack it, right? So what I want all of you to remember is you can heal after a karmic relationship. And I've been on the other foot too. I want to make it crystal clear that I am not perfect. I have been the codependent person. I have been the person that was entangled in a situation where there was a lot of past life karma. When I met the person, I latched on because they were everything I wanted. And that person was attached to the past and really didn't see me for who I really was or my gifts or anything. And I just wanted to make that work. And I was putting all my thank you for the gifts on TikTok. I don't know what you're doing, but thank you. That's very sweet. So I have been in that situation before. I don't want to act like, oh, everything's perfect and my 11-year relationship was perfect and my 5-year was perfect. No, absolutely not. But I've learned to detect instantly when I meet someone what type of connection it is. So within about 1 minute of hearing someone or meeting someone, I can decipher in my own head what the situation is. Very, very intuitive. And I'm happy that I'm in a space now where I feel like I'm surrounded by good, genuine people that are kind and nice and, just, just are kind, and that feels good to me. But what I have learned to do is put up extremely healthy boundaries. It's like a pendulum, right? When you first put up healthy boundaries, you go way left, right? You might relocate out of state, you might cut everyone out of your life, you might really distance yourself from everyone. But once that pendulum settles down, you have just kind of healthy boundaries where you know how close you can let someone. And if they're good enough to, be in your life, you let them in fully. And if they're not, they're not. And that's how it is. So I think I've talked about when I was living in Vegas and I had a woman who was extremely codependent on my energy and would come over with a weed blower every day and would try to have these long drawn out conversations in my kitchen for 3 hours when I needed to work and stuff. And because of the relationship dynamic, I was having trouble setting healthy boundaries, and it ended up in a freaking disaster. And she had a lot of childhood wounds to heal. Like, I know when to own my stuff and when to hand it back to someone else when it's their stuff. She had a lot of deep childhood, a lot of mommy issues, a lot of deep wounding. And what I've learned is the second I pick up on that in someone else, it's set the boundaries and say, I think you're wonderful. I love talking to you. But I need my own time. I have work. I need my own space. Like, it's important to set those boundaries. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. And I'm going to kind of check on Facebook. I can't really see your comments on Pennsylvania. Welcome. Yeah, Sean says absolutely, when one person isn't healed, it's difficult. I believe that as well. And sometimes we get stuck in those things, right? Going back to the whole Tina Turner thing in the beginning of this video, she didn't leave until she was 44 years old, right? And she had to start from scratch. The only thing she wanted is her name. She took 36 cents. That's when you've had that awakening. when you've gone through some serious planetary shifts and you've had 3 eclipses back to back, and you realize that your worth and your value is more than someone beating you, screaming at you, calling you names, verbally abusing you, taking your money, stealing from you, whatever it is, right? Because we all give and take in different ways, you know. Codependency doesn't have to be money. It can be emotional codependency, right? We can be obsessed with someone and want it to work to a degree where it's unhealthy, and we just hang on knowing they're up to no good, right? That's more of an obsession. That's not healthy. So what do I recommend if, and I get this a lot, if you think you're in a twin flame relationship and your twin flame is just running and running and running from you? Well, you give them a swift kick in the ass as they walk out the door. You don't chase anyone, right? We don't even want to mirror people's behavior when it's poor behavior. You communicate in a crystal clear manner, and then you allow things to take place naturally. I often hear people say, you know, time is irrelevant. Well, that's a lie. Time is relevant, and the clock is always ticking. So we don't want to wait for anyone. That's very important to say. What if you think you're in a twin flame relationship and they're not honest, they're not of integrity, and they lie, and they're back and forth with an ex and everything else? Well, again, swift kick in the ass as they walk out the door, because we don't hang on to toxicity. That's vitally important. And so on that note, I'm going to end this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a heart, and I love each and every one of you. On Instagram, I am Raw Chef Andrea. On Facebook, it is Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox. On TikTok, it's Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox. On YouTube, for health and wellness, it is Andrea Cox TV. And for spirituality and intuitive guidance, it is The Detox Intuitive. You can get my book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac, in Barnes & Noble and Target, although I'm pulling it from Target, on AndreaCox.com and on Amazon. Check out the reviews there. 155 pages of plant-based recipes. This is yummy. I took those pictures myself, wrote the recipes myself. On the deck, the Oracle deck, and I would love your opinion on all of this. So the 72 card Oracle deck, I'm thinking of not doing the book because I want people to use their own intuition to be guided by the cards. And also, it's the only thing I'm going to be using in the future to do my readings on the Detox Intuitive. So if you're not subscribed there, hop on over there and subscribe. I want to know what you feel about that. Would you prefer a book explaining each card or no book? Please let me know in the comments. I love each and every one of you. I planned on wearing white and like being really colorful today, and then but I wear black and I wear this stone when I'm working with clients so I don't absorb any energy, because a lot of times when I work one-on-one with clients, he's a coaching client, but even with the readings, I can absorb their energy. So I just decided to stay in my black. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I love you. Be well. Bye.